Hi, it's Ariel with Auto City in El Cajon, San Diego's award-winning used car dealership. In this video, we're going to talk about how to shop for a car for the teenaged driver in your household. I'll show you a few things to look out for, and then I'll give you some of my own personal recommendations for cars that are safe, reliable, and just a little bit of fun for a beginner driver. Guaranteed, almost every inexperienced yet eager driver will want the keys to a car that's fun to drive. Something that won't embarrass them in the high school parking lot. But it might be best to start them off with something just a little slow and boring. A teenager's car, above all, needs to be safe, but it helps if it's also reliable, economical, and comes with a good maintenance history. What size car should my teenager drive? Smaller cars, compacts and subcompacts, are often affordable, low maintenance, and great on gas. Some examples of reliable subcompact cars are the Nissan Versa, Hyundai Accent, Honda Fit, and Toyota Yaris. But you'll want to make sure these smaller cars have good safety ratings and aren't too unstable in an emergency situation. It's not always the case, but many of these subcompact cars actually require some experience to drive safely, as they're not always as well planted as a larger car. If this is a concern, I would stick to shopping for a mid-size family sedan or a station wagon. Mid-size family sedans are a very common class of car in the market, so it should be pretty easy to find a well-maintained used sedan for your kid. Many of them nowadays are also great on gas and maintenance costs. Hondas, Toyotas, Subarus, Mazdas, etc. Like it or not, they're going to inevitably be packing their cars full of their friends. So a roomy mid-size family sedan that seats 5 comfortably without a distracting, overcrowded feel is a wise option. If more space is required, I would go with a station wagon over an SUV, but that's just my opinion. Wagons tend to have more usable space than an SUV, plus they have a lower center of gravity, so they're better on gas and safer to drive. Plus, like, Europeans drive them, so they're cool. I have a wagon. Am I still cool? Shopping for your teenager's car. As this will be your child's first foray into car ownership, I suggest sticking with a used car instead of a new one for pretty obvious reasons. There are a number of places to shop for a high-quality used car for your youngster, whether you choose to shop through a dealership or private party. With resources like AutoTrader, Craigslist, and the internet in general, your options are pretty limitless. Getting the most value for your dollar certainly is important, and there are ways to ensure that your purchase will be a wise one for both you and the teen driver it's entrusted to. With all that in mind, here are some important factors to consider when buying a used car for your teenager. Will the car be reliable? Resources like Edmunds.com provide valuable information, such as reviews from real-life owners who have already experienced ownership of a particular car. It's pretty easy to use their site and figure out which cars have been more reliable for their owners and which cars have been more high maintenance. Vehicle history reports, or VHRs, basically serve as kind of a rap sheet, revealing each individual used car's unique history. Always check a VHR when buying a used car for a teenager, or any used car for that matter. Available through online sites like Carfax, a VHR will typically provide you with details such as service checkups, change of ownership records, and any accidents that car might have been involved with that required some sort of collision repair, and other useful information. Now bear in mind that some smaller, more independent auto repair shops don't always report to Carfax. So in addition, always ask to see the vehicle's service records from the seller. A responsible vehicle owner keeps a full stack of service records. If the used car was involved in a more serious accident, check the title to make sure it doesn't have any salvage designations. This means it was totaled out by an insurance company, which means insurance could end up being much higher. Plus, possible frame damage could mean that car is less stable. Best to avoid any branded titles altogether and just stick to the wealth of clean title used cars you'll find out there. Once you've found a few good cars to go check out, bring your kid with you. Have them shadow you while you inspect the vehicle, inside and out. Check under the hood and on the pavement where the car's been parked for any signs of fluid leaks. Does anything in the engine bay indicate potential problems? Noticeable leaks, dry, cracking rubber belts or hoses? Inspect the car's body and paint job for any signs of past bodywork. Are all the panels straight? Check the tires for uneven tread wear, as that can reveal a misaligned vehicle or suspension issues. Then give the car's interior a complete once-over and try out all the gadgets, buttons, knobs, and switches to make sure everything is working properly. Then have said teenage driver sit in the vehicle to see if it comfortably fits their size. In that regard, take into consideration, can they easily reach all of the vehicle controls, including the pedals? Does the seat adjust in all directions so that they not only have leg and headroom, but a clear field of vision outside the car, front and rear? Can the steering wheel be adjusted to accommodate their size? Once everything is adjusted to their comfort, have them take you on a test drive while listening and feeling for any strange noises or performance-related concerns. Finally, have the car inspected by your trusted mechanic. If all these things check out and if your mechanic approves, you're making progress. How safe is the vehicle? Let's face it, teenagers are not the most careful drivers on the road, as any insurance adjuster would agree. If they are involved in an accident, God forbid, you'll want them to be protected. A good research tool is the Annual Front Impact Report, released annually by the Insurance Institute of Highway Safety, or IIHS. They compile figures on all types of vehicles sold in the US, and their information even dates back several years to include any used cars that you might be considering. Based upon the IIHS crash test data, choose a make and model for your teenager that will hold up in a front, side, or rear impact. In addition, the IIHS provides these vehicle safety tips geared towards younger and less experienced drivers. Avoid vehicles with powerful engines, as they will encourage faster driving. Duh. Stay away from lighter, smaller cars that afford less protection. We talked about that earlier. Subcompacts. Electronic stability control is a must, as it helps vehicles track better on curves and slippery roads. Also known as traction control, DSC, ESC, ASC, I think in some cars. Look for safety features like multiple airbags, Bluetooth capabilities, and the vehicle's all-around unobstructed visibility. Oftentimes, just looking over a vehicle and using common sense goes a long way when ensuring that your young one will be safe on the road with other drivers. And one more thing, since we're on the subject of safety. The best safety feature in any car is defensive driving. No amount of new safety tech, sensors, and warning lights, no amount of airbags can replace the art of defensive driving. Teach your kids to be aware of the road, to be aware of other drivers, other potential dangers, and to mind their surroundings. And how to maneuver their vehicle in a variety of harrowing situations. This is the most important skill to pass down to your kids when teaching them to drive. Other buying tips for teenage drivers. Here are just a few more resources that will help narrow down your choices. Fuel efficiency. Pretty easy to Google, but if you visit fueleconomy.gov, it's like all government official and stuff. Insurance rates. Oh, teenagers have high insurance rates. So get a quote ahead of time from your insurance agent or ask them which cars carry lower premiums for younger drivers. Find out if you are getting a good deal based on the market value of the vehicle. Kelley Blue Book and Edmunds are both great resources to find average private party and dealership values. But as you conduct your research, remember that each used car is a little different based on their unique history, and the market does tend to change from region to region. And now, here are some of my personal recommendations for cars for kids. Subaru. Well-made, safe, sturdy, and sure-footed. Can't go wrong with a Subaru. Outback, Legacy, Impreza, Crosstrek, they're all good to go. Volkswagen Golf and Golf Sportwagen. Small but not too small. Great heritage and reliable. Also extraordinarily fun to drive for an average car without being overly sporty like the Golf GTI. Toyota Prius. Nobody wants one, but they're still the best hybrid car out there, so just get one. Hondas and Toyotas always get the job done. Camry, Accord, Corolla, and Civic. These cars, however, do maintain their resale value so well that you might be hard-pressed to find one on a teenage-friendly budget. As alternatives, I would recommend looking into the Hyundai Sonata, or one of my personal favorites, the Kia Optima. Good-looking car, fun to drive, well-built. And if you really want to get them something with a little style, take a look at the Mazda 6 or Mazda 3 hatchback. All these brands are equally as efficient, safe, and reliable as Honda and Toyota. And when all else fails, buy them one of these, and they'll be the coolest and safest kid in the high school parking lot. Oh yeah. And finally, looking for a used car for your teenager? Give AutoCity a try. At Auto City in San Diego, we are happy to work with drivers of all ages. And in an effort to ease your used car buying concerns, we've already done a lot of the aforementioned preparation for you. Bring your new driver into our store and you'll find a vast inventory of vehicles that are affordable, reliable, safe, and fun to drive. In fact, all our cars have undergone a multi-point inspection by our experienced technicians because we don't sell lemons. We also provide you with the vehicle history reports up front for everything on our lot to eliminate the guesswork. Auto City doesn't believe in high-pressure sales tactics, and each used vehicle comes with an ironclad warranty and a 3-day, no-questions-asked money-back guarantee. Well, that's it! That's about all I can think of when it comes to shopping for used cars for your teenagers. From Auto City in San Diego, California, this is Ariel Levine. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Take it easy.
Auto City.